Have you ever stopped to think about the strange secrets hidden in the darkest corners of the Civil War? America's deadliest war is filled with tales so odd, so unbelievable. What if everything you've been taught about the Civil War is wrong? Hidden beneath the battlefields and textbooks lie stories so shocking, so bizarre. They've been buried for over 150 years. From a soldier who fought in 400 battles but vanished from history, to a single cigar that changed the fate of America, to an eagle that dodged bullets like a phantom, this isn't the Civil War you remember. This is the truth they tried to erase. Strap in. By the end, you'll question everything. We're uncovering the Civil War's most baffling mysteries, stories of bravery, madness, and jaw-dropping twists that history books forgot. Brace yourself. By the time we're done, you'll rethink everything. But before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe to help grow our community. Among the most battle-tested soldiers of the Civil War, few were as extraordinary as George Barnhart Zimpelman. Despite being qualified for higher rank, he stubbornly remained a private in the Confederate Army's legendary Terry's Texas Rangers. Records show he fought in over 400 engagements, from massive battles to small clashes, earning a reputation as one of the war's most relentless cavalrymen. He even held his regiment's grim record for having the most horses shot out from under him in combat. Wounded twice, his first injury was serious but healable, while the second left him permanently disabled, shaping the rest of his life. His rare mix of endless combat, refusal of promotion, and sacrificial wounds makes him one of the war's most fascinating foot soldiers. The Spencer repeating rifle's groundbreaking design met fierce resistance from Union officials early in the war. Though it outperformed traditional muzzle loaders, the Ordnance Department rejected it in 1860, bogged down by red tape and old-fashioned thinking. They claimed its rapid-fire capability would make troops waste ammunition, overwhelming supply chains. This reluctance kept it off the battlefield until late 1863, with mass distribution only coming as the war neared its end. When Union cavalry units finally received the Spencer rifle in large numbers, its 7-shot capacity and rapid reloading proved game-changing on the battlefield. Even as War Department traditionalists clung to single-shot muskets for disciplined volley fire, the Spencer's superior firepower forced a tactical revolution. Historical studies reveal both Union and Confederate troops struggled with the shortcomings of their standard-issued rifles. Military analysts of the time documented shockingly inefficient combat performance, taking an estimated 240 pounds of gunpowder and 900 pounds of lead bullets to eliminate a single enemy soldier. This staggering ratio, roughly 1 hit per 1,000 shots fired, stemmed from multiple flaws: the slow reloading of muzzle loaders, the poor marksmanship of hastily trained recruits, and the thick smoke from black powder that obscured battlefields. These inefficiencies reshaped 19th century warfare, forcing supply officers to prioritize sheer volume of ammunition over accuracy, a reality far removed from modern assumptions about Civil War firepower. Some of the war's most pivotal battles began not from grand strategy, but sheer accident. The Battle of Gettysburg, July 1st through 3rd, 1863, later hailed as the war's turning point, started because Confederate troops were desperate for shoes. General Henry Heth's division marched toward the Pennsylvania town hoping to raid a rumored shoe factory, only to stumble into Union cavalry, sparking the deadliest clash of the war. Similarly, the Battle of Antietam, September 17, 1862, unfolded because of a careless mistake. Confederate Captain Robert Chilton lost General Lee's battle plans, wrapped around 3 cigars in a field. When Union Corporal Barton Mitchell found them, the intelligence spurred the normally cautious General McClellan to attack. The resulting battle became the bloodiest single day in U.S. military history, with over 22,000 casualties and paving the way for Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation. Among the war's most unusual soldiers was Old Abe, a bald eagle who served as mascot for Wisconsin's 8th Infantry. Acquired in 1861 through a barter deal, traded for 5 bushels of corn, the eagle became a legend. He followed troops through camp, watched drills intently, and in battle he'd soar high above the fighting, disappearing into the sky until the gunfire stopped. Artillerymen on both sides were said to pause just to watch him fly. Though he survived 36 battles with only 1 minor injury, a shrapnel graze at Vicksburg, his luck finally ran out in 1881. After his death, he was preserved and displayed in Wisconsin's Capitol, even surviving a 1904 fire, before finding his final resting place in the Wisconsin Veterans Museum, surrounded by the flags of the battles he witnessed. Perched atop Wisconsin's Civil War monument, a bronze eagle forever watches over Madison, a silent tribute to the state's most famous feathered veteran. The Walker brothers, Jack and Jasper from North Carolina, came to embody both Confederate grit and post-war healing. Enlisting together in the 26th North Carolina, they faced the hellstorm of Pickett's charge at Gettysburg on July 3, 1863. Fate dealt them matching wounds. Both brothers took shrapnel to the legs from Union canister fire, suffering nearly identical amputations with the same unsterilized saws that claimed countless limbs. Captured during the retreat, their prison experiences diverge. Jack endured Fort Delaware's harsh confines, while Jasper barely survived Ohio's deadly camp chase. Their post-war lives became a testament to resilience. Returning to Reidsville as early adopters of advanced prosthetics, their cork and spring artificial legs with working knee joints made them local celebrities. Jasper's 1868 wedding took an unforgettable turn when his prosthetic failed moments before the ceremony. In a moment that would become legend, he borrowed Jack's leg to stand at the altar, creating what newspapers dubbed the wedding on borrowed legs, a powerful symbol of veterans' adaptability and brotherhood. The story of Henderson Verdon reveals war's generational echoes. This 25-year-old Arkansas farmer, considered old for enlistment, joined the 2nd Arkansas Infantry, only to ultimately defend his own homestead during the Battle of Pea Ridge. A Union minie-ball tore through his lung near his corn crib, lodging against his spine. His wife Lucinda, using midwifery skills honed delivering babies, nursed him through septicemia in the farmhouse he'd built. Their wartime conception produced son Wiley, whose descendants would include a Flying Tiger Squadron leader in World War II. Verdon lived 40 years with the bullets slowly migrating through his body, his weekly back-stretching ritual and ongoing negotiation with his Yankee souvenir. The bizarre Yazoo River naval standoff between the ironclad Arkansas and USS Carondelet became a tactical absurdity. While Union cannonballs bounced harmlessly off the Arkansas's armor, boarding parties found only an empty deck. Confederate sailors had retreated behind locked iron hatches below. The Union crew wandered the vacant vessel for hours, unable to breach the sealed compartments, before withdrawing in frustration. Both sides claimed victory in this unique battle where no one actually fought. Civil War uniforms created a chromatic nightmare far removed from today's neat blue versus gray imagery. Early war regiments wore whatever their states could procure. New York's gray-coated 3rd Volunteers nearly blended with Georgia's 8th Infantry at Bull Run. Vermont troops marched in butternut shades identical to Appalachian Confederates, while Indiana's iron-gray uniforms required identification flags to prevent friendly fire. The chaos peaked when Louisiana's striped zouave pants were accidentally copied by an Iowa regiment due to a fabric mix-up, proving that in the Civil War's early days, you couldn't always judge a soldier by his colors. The Civil War's uniform chaos. When you couldn't tell friend from foe, Maine's 3rd Regiment marched to war in Confederate-style gray until 1862, while Kansas cavalry scouts patrolled in faded charcoal uniforms left over from the Mexican-American War. But no unit turned heads quite like New Jersey's 2nd Cavalry Battalion. Their sky blue jackets with golden yellow trim earned them the playful nickname the Butterflies during the Peninsula Campaign. Ethnic regiments added even more confusion. New York's 58th Infantry, the Polish Legion, fought through the 1864 Wilderness Campaign in crimson caps and white linen tunics, a bold declaration of national pride on American battlefields. This rainbow of uniforms only faded by 1863, when Union standardization and Confederate supply shortages finally gave us the familiar blue versus gray divide we know today. The surrender that history forgot, Johnston's silent act of defiance. While Robert E. Lee's Appomattox surrender dominates history books, General Joseph E. Johnston's capitulation at Bennett Place, North Carolina, on April 26, 1865, was 3 times larger, ending the war for 89,270 Confederate troops. But Johnston's true legacy began after the war. In a stunning act of reconciliation, the former Confederate general served as an honorary pallbearer at Union funerals, including Ulysses S. Grant's 1885 memorial. His final gesture came at Sherman's 1891 funeral, where the 84-year-old Johnston stood bareheaded in freezing rain. When urged to cover up, he replied, "If I were in his place and he standing here in mine, he would not put on his hat." The pneumonia he caught that day killed him weeks later, making him, in death, the ultimate symbol of a divided nation's painful healing. These aren't just dusty old tales. They're living historical enigmas. George Zimpelman's mystery. Did he refuse promotion out of humility or quiet rebellion? The cigar that changed history. Could Lee's lost battle plans really have altered the war's outcome? Henderson Verdon's Yankee Souvenir. What if that migrating bullet held untold secrets of Pea Ridge? Want more untold stories? Smash that like and subscribe button. Your support helps us resurrect more forgotten voices from history. The Civil War's greatest stories aren't in textbooks. They're in these unanswered questions still waiting for their solutions.